period.
Yeah. And we all benefit from that in our enjoyment. If you're into the franchise of Iron Man and a few of these other things, we salute you, Russell.
Mm-hmm.
So this kind of talks about the irony a little bit of Iron Man and ARC Reactor coming in, and how you interacted initially with Russell to kind of take the handing of the torch a little bit. Do you want to kind of walk us through a little bit about how you met him and a little bit of that torch handing for the ARC Reactor, as you alluded to, that those patents started to move our way too?
So as soon as we got the patent and it was granted, I was meditating one night and I was thinking, what am I supposed to do with this huge thing, this patent on the ARC Reactor? What am I supposed to do? So I'm meditating and I had this vision of one of my old clients, name's Greg, from pole vaulting. And I got along really well with him and we were good friends. And so I just was like, I'm going to text Greg. And so I text Greg in the middle of like 11:30 at night. I'm texting him. I was like, Greg, hope you're doing well. Check this out. I just got the patent on the ARC Reactor and it's a nuclear fusion reaction. And it was 11 o'clock at night, 11:30, and he texts me back right away. And by the way, that's really late in Atlanta. And he goes, oh my gosh, I'm dating Russell Bobbitt's daughter. I'm dating his daughter. And I'm like, wait, you're dating the guy that made the ARC Reactor? And he's like, yeah. And so it was just super serendipitous that it's almost like the universe was telling me to reach out, and I did it. And then Greg, my good friend, was like, hey, we got to get you a Zoom call with Russell right away. Are you available next weekend? And I said, yeah, for sure. And we didn't actually meet that next weekend, and we met that on Monday, on Sunday, after Sunday. And the reason why is because Russell Bobbitt had to go meet with somebody else, which I don't really want to talk about, but he went and met someone to talk about the fact that I got the ARC Reactor cold nuclear fusion patent. And that conversation I can't talk about, but they did talk about it, and something very interesting happened. So when I talked to Russell on Zoom, it was like, man, Ron, we knew that someone was going to figure it out. We were hoping someone would figure it out. Mm-hmm. We kind of already had the suspicion that this was very special, and we knew that we loved the way that it touched like children's creative imagination, because when they saw the movie, I mean, the merchandise sold like crazy, the ARC reactors, because it resembles this. It's kind of like it's hinting at it. It's like, hey, there's something very special about this. And when Russell Bobbitt first made this and put it on his bench at his workshop, and he first created it, when he lit this thing up, he said to us on the Zoom call that when he saw this for the first time light up, he said, oh my God, that is so special. And that's what he thought, and that's what he was thinking, because he's absolutely right. It has every single nuclear fusion type of reactor built inside of it. And when he was designing it, he was going for a circular fusion, like a stellarator, but it was compact and small. Particle accelerator type.
Enough to power a very special suit.
Yes, the Iron Man suit. And so when he made this, he was very shocked and surprised. And actually, when they actually did the one that was like in the movie, let's turn this back on. When it was in the movie, the LED lights were so bright when they put it on Robert Downey Jr.'s chest. It burned his chest, actually. It was so hot, the LEDs.
So tell me a little bit about your conversation with Russell, because there's this question that would linger a little bit about what was the depth of his knowledge or his ability to ascertain that this was a connection to what the physics world was trying to do, that he could embrace that and kind of translate that over to Hollywood. Yeah. How did he get into some of the depth of his understanding, or was he just kind of shooting a little bit in the dark?
He was doing a little bit of both. He was basically, he is an electronics guy. Like, he loved Radio Shack and he loved playing with soldering, and he just likes doing that stuff.
He sounds like a prop guy that way.
Yeah, very much ham radio type of guy, right?
Okay.
You know, kind of a lost, flavor art, like
it is.
ham radio stuff. And,
right.
And So he just took his knowledge of like electronics and just made this thing with like a laser cutter, like, and just did like a lathe, and he just let his creativity run wild, and he made this. And though he didn't know how to do the electronics of the coil wrapping and the, you know, pulsing and all that, the design itself, in terms of the way the electrons shoot out with a ballistic action, and the way the rings rotate and make a torus, and then the coils wrapped around causing the electrons to deflect. The whole thing of it is absolutely stunningly awesome.
Yeah. So also, scroll ahead a little bit, and you've placed this into the device and had a revelation that electron capture is happening in there.
Very good.
There's not shooting out of anything. It's actually doing probably more what I think he would have imagined it could do versus shielding like the top or something.
Yeah.
It's got to have something a little different in the real world to fit into something like that and actually function.
Yeah.
So that must have been very cool to have that conversation with him and explain electron capture.
Yeah, he's actually asked that questions like, okay, you figured it out. Tell me how it works. That's what he said, like on the Zoom. He's like, tell me how it works. And so I was like, basically, it just sucks electrons from air, water, gas, anything that has electrons. Even the vacuum of space has electrons too. And it just sucks in the electrons, and it just pulls it into the circuit, and then it basically powers your LEDs, and it powers whatever load you have on it. And it literally is science fiction meets reality, because if you read like the Wikipedia on the ARC reactor for Marvel, it's a nuclear fusion reactor that draws in energy.
Yes, the Science Magazine Wikipedia.
Yeah, well, they have like a Marvel wiki that you can go on and read.
Okay,
like,
well, yeah, and I'm just messing around a little bit. So with that, and telling him more about what this was, what was his reaction? I mean, surely he had to say, did he want to see it, or did he want to, like, I want to play with that because that could make a real suit, actually, correct?
Yes, I mean, we can design it to be a full-powered device that has, you know, basically 500 watts to 1,000 watts of output energy. We can totally do that.
And can you propel a suit? And can you, the propulsors and the blasters, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, all that stuff is, and here's where the audience needs to understand that this is why this movement is so cool, is that every single one of us inside, there's a 6-year-old boy or a 6-year-old girl deep down inside of us that believes that things are possible, that the impossible is possible. And that's what the ARC reactor design actually means. And that's what Russell Bobbitt says, like, that device represents our childhood dreams of possibilities, of limitless possibilities. And that's why it's so amazing that it just happened to be serendipitously part of Quantum Kinetic's movement for nuclear fusion.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just wild that this is happening. It's just wild that this is actually occurring in this space-time continuum right now. And it's just a real honor to be a part of it